Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you guys are watching this from. Happy Thursday, May the 19th. And guys, let's just start off by saying another one of those days, ups and downs, teeter tottering, green to red, green to red, green to red. It was just absolutely all over the place. Um, Overall market though, it had a nice stability. It didn't wander too far in either the green or the red direction. So for most part, I mean neutral on the day. As you guys can see, Dow, S&P, Nasdaq up a little bit in after hours, but this is insignificant, nothing major. So overall, a very like a choppy day, but just kind of chilling. I mean, nothing too significant going on at the moment. Natural gas had its ups and downs today, which I'm going to break down with cold and boil. But overall, I mean, it's kind of doing what I'm predicting it's going to do based on the analysis, and I'm going to get into that further detail on that in a moment. Um, Oil still in a solid range right here in this 110 range and still expecting a nice surge to the upside there. Bitcoin, a nice bounce back over 30,000. Added a new crypto to my holdings, long holdings, and I'm going to break that one down for you guys as well later on. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Make sure to follow StockTwits for live updates and opinions. As always, guys, got to remind you, um, updating you guys with as many plays as I can. Anything I see potential in that you guys can make money off of, I'm always going to be on here informing you guys. So make sure to follow, turn on the notifications, whatever you got to do. Now let's hop right into it. Taking a look at the SPY on the day, and like I said, guys, just a very choppy day as you guys can see here. Okay, so market end yesterday, it looked like we had a nice volume spike. I mean, it looked very promising coming into today. Maybe it looked like we were going to have a nice little bull run for the day, but as you guys can see, just choppy, choppy, choppy. Literally nothing significant going on. Just been holding in these 380s to a little over 390s level, and really nothing significant going on. So, um, refreshing at least to see a day like this where there's not that much downward momentum. We have been seeing a lot of downward momentum in retail companies like Target, Walmart. These names have been getting hit, and I'm not entirely sure why. So I don't want to put out false information. Just something that I've been taking a look at. But taking a look at the SPY, like I said, it's just been a very slightly choppy day, up and down, up and down, up and down. Um, yeah, like really nothing significant to really discuss here. So for once, guys, I mean, a day that was just kind of chill, and it really feels good not to see, such an insane amount of volatility, right? So, um, heading into the close, looked like some selling pressure, but this obviously clearly doesn't mean anything. Just like this candle, guys. I mean, you maybe want to go off an indicator, right? Like that this indicates that we're going to come into today with some type of momentum to the upside because there's so much buying pressure, but it really was insignificant. So overall, just pretty chill. So that's pretty much it for the SPY on the day. Moving on over to UVXY. Um, yeah, UVXY took a drop off the top, big time. Not big time, but I mean a decent amount. So obviously here in the 18s levels earlier today, and then just kind of bled down. So clearly there's some strength to the upside in the market, sending the bearish ETF that I mean I love to watch and analyze because there's just so much opportunity here, considering the volatility in the market, so that you can make money on the downturns and not just make money on upturns. So like I said, guys, UVXY has just not been able to break over that $20 mark, which has been absolutely insane. I mean, it's just strange to see. Um, Projections wise, market can still head to the downside There's really no established support on the SPY. I mean, you know, like I was talking about yesterday regarding how long do I believe this downturn is going to go on for. I believe it's anywhere from a week to a month. And we'll see some massive moves back to the upside, but or more not massive, but significant moves to the upside. There has been a lot of significant moves from bottoms and a lot of good plays. I mean, such as DraftKings, SoFi, FUBO, Tesla, sort of, kind of, RIVN, Cassava Sciences, just to name a few. I'm going to talk about a few of those in a second as well. But I mean, if your timing was on, I mean, you can't be perfect, right? I mean, if your timing in terms of entering the trades was at least decently on point, there's some seriously good money to be making in the markets right now. That word timing, I can't stress how important that is, because that literally determines a lot. Timing, timing ties into the core principles that should be exercised when you are becoming a really good trader. That obviously patience, timing, execution, just to name a few. There's just the basic fundamentals, right? I mean, but overall timing, right? And getting back to talk about UVXY, anything for me with UVXY accumulation wise, anything under 15 is accumulation, and it's one that you can swing back to the upside, because the bear market is obviously still here. The bear market, bull market, they're still ramming heads. The fight is not over between them, and it's kind of like a boxing match, right? Like, one round the bull's gonna win, the next round the bear's gonna win, and that's what really we've been seeing in the market with these ups and downs. One day we'll have a bull run, the next day we'll have a bear run. I mean, it's been choppy beyond belief, but it's not surprising, because I've been talking about this in my videos for quite some time, since I started sharing my analysis with you guys. So I mean, it's really it was just kind of put in stone in terms of the market coming to the downside. So it's just a matter of how long this is going to last until there's until there's a realistic direction the market wants to move in. So right now, still, as choppy as can be. Oh, today was choppy, but pretty chill. So, but as you guys could see, a little bit of a downturn in UVXY today, and my whole thing is accumulate anything under $15. That's just my strategy on it. But if you guys, I mean, all the best to you. If you see opportunities here in the 15.55 range where it's at right now in the post market, I mean, do your thing. Whatever your strategy is, just execute. And then jumping on over, we could talk about Boyle first. Looking at Boyle, the bullish ETF for natural gas. Now, one thing that really jumps out to me in the chart, right? And considering, this came from $20, $25, wherever it was. The first time I alerted it was back in February when it was $25. And what a killer alert that was, because I mean, look where we are now, up over here in the. I mean, today market close was 105. I mean, highs were in the 120s, as you guys know if you've been watching my videos. But what I see here is a chart pattern called the head and shoulders. So right here, we have a formation of a shoulder. We have a formation of a head here. And right now, we're forming another shoulder, signifying, and it's not 100%, guys, because chart patterns, they you can do all your analysis, you can do all your technicals, you could do above and beyond in terms of your due diligence, but still a stock or an ETF or whatever you're trading can go the opposite direction of what you are predicting based on that. So obviously that's a frustrating thing, but at the same token, you're still setting yourself up for at least you are setting yourself up for success in general. Now, obviously, you have to cover your ass just in case that doesn't work out. Stop losses, whatever percentage you feel comfortable with. That's really all that matters. But in terms of my technical analysis on this, the head and shoulders, we have another shoulder formation here, and I expect this a downturn in natural gas based on, number one, supply increases. Number two, once demand shrivels up, demand is still very high. We gotta make that clear. There's a lot of shortages, but obviously this is stimulated mostly by the tensions that are happening in Russia, as Russia is the number one exporter of natural gas, and with all the sanctions and whatnot, like we've been talking about. But at the same token, we have to think about sustainability. Natural gas, there is no sustainability at these levels. Um, Again, I could be wrong, okay? Natural gas could rally 130, 140. Who knows, guys? I mean, but at the same token, I have enough analysis to, not be certain, but be confident enough to take, a big position in cold. So that's what I'm doing at the moment, the bearish ETF that I'm going to be talking about right now. But expect this to drop under the $100 mark, down to 80, down to 70. Who knows? It could continue downward. Just as if we get any updates on the supply that's been increasing drastically to obviously meet the demands, and then and then some. So just keep it on watch, guys. If you have obviously a different opinion about it, um, you're more than welcome to have that. But based on my chart analysis, that's just what I'm seeing. Now, hopping on over to cold, still right around those near all-time low territories, and I'm still very bullish on this name. I have a decent position. It's not massive, but it's a decent position. Okay, my average in one account is like 610. My average in the other account is about 590. So, as you guys can see, we're literally right at those all-time lows have been met these past couple days. But as you guys can see back here on the 5th of May on Cinco de Mayo, bottoms up. As you guys can see, it bounced off of that high $5 range, went all the way right. I believe it was right under $10. I think it went a little bit higher in an after hours trading session, but I mean, what a killer move that was. Um, I'm still predicting that to happen here in cold, like I explained, reasonings why with Boyle, and just because, talk referring to sustainability, it's just not sustainable at these prices. So, um, as you guys can see down here, quite a bit of volume coming in. Quite a bit of volume. Now, closed at 619. Right now, post market 627. That's what I want to see. Today was an up and down day for cold. We were up in the pre-market. I didn't have any urge to sell. I didn't really care. And then it dropped all the way down into the 570s. And still, was I nervous at all? Was I shaking? Was I upset? Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. I wasn't at all, and came right back up to the upside, back to 627. And I see this hitting $7 within the next couple of days, and then takes slowly but surely take more legs up to the upside, $8, $9, $10, and so forth. I mean, we are in all-time lows, and this is one that I've been talking about. Anything under $10, accumulate as much as you can, and accumulate, accumulate, accumulate. I will say it again. So also, guys, a reminder: there's going to be a 1-to-4 stock split coming up. So obviously that changes things in terms of price, right? So when I take a look on the website, it's very strange to me because okay, it is a 1-to-4. I don't know why I thought I read a 4-to-1. Okay, so it is going to be a 1-to-4. Correct. Okay. Okay. That clears up a lot. I thought I was looking at something else, I guess. I'm not sure. This is what I was looking at. So there's going to be a 1-to-4 stock split. Um with these ETFs, it typically happens at times because once they drop to these low levels, that's what they'll typically do. Should it deter you or kind of intimidate you from trading it? Not really. I mean, just trade whatever you feel comfortable with. My whole analysis is that we're going to see a drop in natural gas. So regardless if there's a split or not, I still expect a nice return once even after the split. So just to inform you guys on that, and yeah, keep your eyes on cold, guys. I really do see it running soon. Jumping on over to Rivian, a name that I've been talking about religiously. I haven't been talking about it the past few days, but Rivian has been one that I've been saying is a buy in this range. When it was in the 30s, when it was in the low 30s, when it was in the high 20s, I was saying buy, buy, buy. And then we got that news that Ford dumped their shares, and then you had a bunch of dumping going on, pushed it all the way down to the 19s. And let me just say, guys, if you bought anywhere in this range, honestly, fist bump, whatever, freaking shoulder bump, because that is a great trade. As you guys can see, back up to the upside, and for me personally, it was more of a situation if it's only a matter of when is this going to retrace back to the upside, along with a lot of other plays. Um, this got absolutely brutalized to the downside, and I mean, like I said, guys, this is one of those premium products in the electric space that I have done my analysis on, and I really do see them becoming a player in the game um, as time goes on. So this was a name that I was very confident in, even at those 30s levels. And I mean, who's to predict that it was going to go down to 19? I mean, it's a hard thing to do. So if obviously if you're long and you're holding, I'm still confident this goes to 40 plus, 40, 50 plus. I mean, it's just a matter of holding on till those days come, and it's just a matter of how Rivian continues as a company in terms of expansion and sales and all that good stuff. So keep an eye on Rivian, guys. Still, right under the $30 mark. It's been taking nice legs back up to the upside, and this is nice to see. Consolidation, rise, consolidation, rise, consolidation, rise. So keep it on watch, guys. I think $40 is right around the corner. Moving on over to a name I have not talked about, a name that I have a lot of regrets. Not really regrets. We can't live with any regrets. But back in 2020, I wanted to buy it, but I was too volatile of a trader and I didn't hold it. But we don't need to talk about that. We don't need to talk about that. Anyways, getting on into it now, guys, I really do see Tesla as being a great buy in this low $700 range, and anything beneath this. I mean, in terms of a support, I think 675, 675 to the 650 range. If that is broken, this can continue to the downside, in my opinion. But I mean, I don't see the 675, 650 coming into play. But that just all depends on market pressure to the downside. So, obviously Tesla had their split back in, I believe it was early 2021, and that was a 5-to-1 split, and that price was at like 2,500 at the time. So now you have five times the amount of shares, and the stock price is at $500. So essentially, right now, uh, taking the split into consideration, the stock price is like $3,500 technically. So um, obviously you have to think about that. But another thing is, I mean, Tesla is a powerhouse in many different categories. So it's a company that's obviously not going to go anywhere. It's just a matter of how low is this going to go, to feel like it's a comfortable enough entry. For me, it's more of just accumulating in the low 700s, and if it dips beneath that, buy at your discretion, buy with the whatever money you have available, because I think Tesla's a great buy for the long haul. I think $1,000 will come once the market really starts heading back towards that upside. Once it gets over this hump, because it will eventually. It will eventually. So keep Tesla on watch, guys. Powerhouse is not going anywhere. Hopping on into SoFi, one of those names, one of those financial companies that I've been talking about for quite some time, and more so just want to show you guys this chart that I've been bullish on this name like crazy for quite some time. I've been talking about it for like a month and a half now. Was looking at it far before then as well, but guys, drops all the way down to the high $4 range. And I mean, what a drop that was. This is another one of those situations. It's so hard to determine whether, you made a good entry. I mean, for me, I was talking about this being a buy in the $6, $7 range, even $8 range. I remember I was talking about this. But obviously, we had that massive downturn. And, these growth stocks, reacted accordingly, and that's why we saw, we've been seeing drops like this in a significant fashion in so many solid names. So now it's nice and gratifying to see this head back to the upside. Nice taking levels, consolidating, and taking levels back to the upside. Now at 785, and guys, this is a $10 plus stock. I don't see SoFi going anywhere. They just released earnings. Here's your look at this. Beat revenue 13%. Earnings was a beat 5%. I mean, overall solid growth, but at the end of the day, it reacted to the market, and that's basically all that happened. And all that downward pressure sent it to those all-time lows territories. But guys, this accumulation, another one of those stocks just to accumulate and really not stress too much about. If it's something that you can accumulate and hold long term, this is a $10 plus stock. So keep SoFi on watch, guys. Now hopping on over into crypto land, VeChain and AMP. I'm in right now currently. So VeChain is a supply. It's basically it's a system that is implemented into supply chains to optimize productivity and whatnot. So, um, I mean, I'm pretty damn confident about this play. It's obviously been beaten to the downside because of the Bitcoin downturn, but I see a lot of opportunity here. So my average is right at like the 3 cent mark, and this is something that I want to hold for the next couple of months. Nothing too long term, but like next couple months, just kind of keep it and keep an eye on it here and there. But realistically, VeChain, my price target in the next couple of months is north of 6 cents. So I do see a 100% return coming on this name within the next couple of months. As long as Bitcoin stays strong and we see that retrace, get back to the 35,000, get back to the 40,000 level, and we see that uptrend happen, I don't see why not. So, I've been reading a lot of Bitcoin articles, um, some positive bullish news. I can't remember off the top of my head. I read it earlier, but Bitcoin is not going anywhere, in my opinion. At least anytime soon. Crypto itself is not going anywhere. So, VeChain, like I explained to you, it's a system that's put into supply chains to optimize productivity and much more. There's so much more to it. I'm pretty sure. I'm not explaining here, but VeChain I'm very confident about. And last but not least, getting into AMP. This is one I don't know too much details about. This is 100% a technical chart, and I've had a lot of people tell me about this name for payments and whatnot, and pretty damn legitimate service. So this is one that I got into right around the penny range. Obviously, like 1.35. I believe it was 1.0135 is my average here. Um, have a good chunk of this position, and I'm gonna hold it, expecting 3 to 4 to 5 cents within the next couple months as well, just as long as Bitcoin stays strong. I also did want to mention another thing is that, guys, there's so many cryptos out there. There's so many altcoins, etc. All the different categories of coins. There's so many out there. Just make sure you're doing your due diligence on each, and you feel confident enough that this is one that's going to survive in terms of the long run, or however long you're planning on holding it for, because there's a lot of coins out there that I've seen are just complete scams. Obviously, we've heard about the Luna thing, people losing millions of dollars, and overall it was just like billions that were lost in that coin. So a lot of shady stuff goes on it goes on in every market, right? But um I've seen a lot of crazy stuff happen in crypto, and Luna was definitely one of those that just kind of blew my mind. So, like I said, guys, KOLD, VeChain, and AMP are my current three positions. Talked about the SPY, talked about UVXY, talked about Boyle, talked about RIVN, Tesla, SoFi, and FUBO, another honorable mention. I still believe in FUBO. Still believe that's a $5, $6, $7 stock, and it's just a matter of that seeing that uptrend and having them you know do good in terms of business and obviously, guys, obviously. But long-term wise, I still see FUBO being a player in the game, which it is. So keep an eye on FUBO. That's the honorable mention of the day. If you guys enjoyed this content, be sure to like and subscribe to the video, subscribe to the channel, follow my stocktwits. Any questions, concerns, doubts, anything, guys, comment down below. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And I really hope you guys have been making money in these interesting times, to say the least, and have been, being patient, executing your plan, and really staying positive with yourself, because that's all that matters. Just stay positive with yourself. Don't get frustrated. And above all else, stick to your plan. Like I said again, and I will continue to say that always. Anyways, guys, that's really all I have for today. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.